Pop Punk and Pizza podcast is presented by Pop Punk Takeout, which is a monthly subscription service, delivers merchandise from pop punk artists from all over the world directly to your door in a takeout box. And just in time for the Christmas season is a very pop punk Christmas Volume 1 compilation CD. It's for pre-order right now at poppunktakeout.com. It's only $10. It is a CD, not vinyl, just so you know on that. I know most people are buying vinyl these days, but this is a CD, and there's nothing wrong with that. You can pre-order now. It's going to ship on December 13th, which is coming up here pretty quickly since we're recording this on December 1st. And a lot of the artists that are on this compilation are artists that have been here on Pop Punk and Pizza podcast. So like Settle Your Scores. We also have TLB, Tiny Kingdoms, Last Letters, Million Miler, Eugene Levy, and so many others. So pre-order your copy today at poppunktakeout.com. And while you're there, sign up for one of the monthly boxes as well. Keep up to date on everything Pop Punk Takeout related on social media at Pop Punk Takeout.
I'm going out, I gotta go. I'll bang a rang on the radio. So turn it up, I'm telling you. I think I'm ready for something new. Hey, hello, it's nice to meet ya. Hey, come in and have a slice of pizza. Hey, hello, it's nice to meet ya. Hey, come in and have a slice of pizza.
You're listening to Pop Punk and Pizza with Jacques Lamour.
Hello and welcome to Pop Punk and Pizza. I'm Jacques Lamour. It's officially December. This is actually our first episode for December 2021. And before we get deep into it, happening, maybe you're actually listening to this on the day, but we're having a one-day only holiday sale of Pop Punk and Pizza merch Thursday, December 2nd. I'm recording this the day before, but you might be listening this on the day the podcast is actually released on Thursday, December 2nd, 2021. For one day only, we're having a 15% off sale. So literally 15% off your order of anything at poppunkpizzapod.com. So, including just the regular logo t-shirt that I'm wearing currently. And we also have the Lucky Pizza Cat t-shirt as well. It's actually a Chinese Lucky Cat. He's chowing down on some pizza. You can get a 15% off that as well. The promo code you're going to need is Holiday15. So go to poppunkpizzapod.com. When you go to checkout at our merch store, use Holiday15 and you will get 15% off your order. Thank you so much in advance if you did go ahead and buy something, whether it was for this sale or not. It is happening only on Thursday, December 2nd, by the way, and then the 15% off deal will be gone. So I have some great guests on the show today. This whole episode is actually a rescheduled live stream podcast that we had set up pretty much exactly a month ago. And I had to cancel the live stream and the podcast recording because our family cat decided he needed emergency surgery. I guess he didn't really... Well, he sort of decided that. What happened is he ate 15 hair ties, I think it was. 15 or 19 hair ties. And so it made him sick. They had to cut him open to get these things out. Otherwise, he would have died. And we didn't know this at the time. We just knew he was sick. But then when further examinations came in, it was discovered that that's what was in his stomach. Thankfully, he's alive. He's doing well. But, it cost me a pretty penny to get his surgery done. It was like $3,600. So now I'm paying his hospital bill. So he better be grateful for that this holiday season. But thankfully, Oakrest and Mighty Tortuga were kind enough to reschedule with us for today. So welcoming up first is Jacob, and Chris from Oakrest. Let's give those guys a big round of applause. What's going on, guys?
We're currently day one in the studio right now. We're recording our first full-length record.
Yeah, I had seen the email exchange you had with Lizzie, my assistant, and my wonderful girlfriend, of course, wonderful girlfriend, wonderful assistant. Um, that I didn't realize you were in the process of a full length though. That's exciting.
Yeah. We, we did the EPs, the two EPs got us to where we are now. Like we got some fan base growing, and we felt like we had more of a story to tell rather than just through an EP, like through 6 or 5 songs. So we needed like the 10 is what we're going for this record. So
Nice. I always felt like 10 was a solid number as when it comes to a record. I know some people will shoot for 12 or they'll be like, "No, 8,"
yeah.
is an album.
Well, even 8 like would be fine too. I mean, like I know everyone's attention spans aren't the best with social media coming into play and all that. But yeah, like I hope people listen to our record full the way through when it drops.
I mean, I definitely will. I was hooked the first time I heard you guys, and maybe Pop Punk and Pizza listeners remember you as well. You haven't been guests on the podcast, but we have played your music before on one of our 10 songs episodes. I want to say it was last year. It was Nothing Serious.
Yeah,
But that song is seriously good though, for being called Nothing Serious.
thank you.
And it deserves all the listens in the world, as well as your other singles as well. Like I know the latest one is "Love for One Day," which we'll actually hear that later on after we chat here for a little bit. But yeah, getting into the studio. I mean, have you actually had day one happen already?
Yeah, it's currently 8 p.m. We've been here since about 12:30. Day one obviously is a bit of a long stretch. We're sort of just like planning our pre-pros, noting everything we want to take out or keep, and then the rest of the month will run smoothly, hopefully.
So what happened today? Give us an inside scoop. I mean, what is day one? Did you demo all the songs?
So basically what we did was we did a brief rundown of everything that we have. We listened to all the tracks in depth, and we kind of discussed things we like about the tracks, things we don't like about the tracks, what we can work on, what we're going to add, what we're going to take out. We haven't physically, recorded or did any pre-pros yet, but we're just getting a rough idea of what we want the record to sound like per se.
Yeah, like the past year, like I've been learning how to demo through GarageBand a little bit more professionally, amateurically. And I brought those to Kyle Marchant, who's in the other room right now. He's just making our bad demo sound a little bit better, to make the process a little bit smoother. But yeah, like I spent the last year writing like the structure of the song, and then me and Chris would like bounce like the drums. He would record them, he'd send them, and then I would mix everything and master it to the best of my abilities from YouTube videos. And yeah, and here we finally are. We've been talking about this the past year, and we're finally in it.
It's finally happening. It's been a terrible year or year and a half, 2 years for a lot of things, but it's been good for as far as songwriting goes. Everyone being stuck at home, not being able to play shows, etc., has really paved the way for people to really get down and dirty into crafting their songwriting. So for for Oakrest, what was the getting down to the nitty gritty with songwriting? What were the things you really honed in on, or when you kind of went into songwriting mode, you were like, okay, I really got to start learning what like different chords or learning how to improve my choruses or something. What were those things for you guys that you were really trying to hone in and improve upon?
Oh, man. I mean, like, we definitely don't try to overshoot and be a complicated band, because obviously, like,
you're a pop punk band.
People really fun listening songs. It isn't why we chose the pop punk genre. Like it's very known for its cliche topics and chord progressions, where it's just power chords and thinking about girls or breakups and all that. But really, I mean, like throughout the years of us being in a band, like being in the studio, we picked up a few things, like recording with our last producer, Anton DeLost, and hearing his input definitely helped me a lot. Like while I like I said, like I sort of write like all the structures of the song, and then we all add our pieces to it. But yeah, so sitting in with Anton, like hearing his input and what he would add definitely helped me like over COVID, because I would sit there and I'm like, what would Anton do in this situation? Like, would he, go the easier route and just find a simple rhyme? Or like with me, like with my lyrics, I obviously like them to mean something. So I like to tell a story. But yeah, I mean, like didn't really challenge herself other than, sort of just like grinding it through like all the way through COVID rather than being lazy, not doing anything. I was like literally in my basement like every second I got when I wasn't working, trying to write something. And we ended up writing about like 18 songs, honed in at 10. And yeah, and here we are with I feel is our 10 best songs that we've written in our career.
I also think it's about like coming together as a band and kind of defining what our sound is. We have like, two other releases that I feel like we found like an original sound, whereas all our older music we've released, it's kind of like, generic pop punk. People are like, hey, this kind of sounds like Blink. Hey, this sounds like,
Yeah.
New Found Glory. Whereas, we kind of found a unique sound that, makes us who we are. So
that's what kind of made us want to do like the first full length too. Cause EPs, again, it is very hard to, it's very hard to express yourself in a way, yeah. I guess, like being like a serious band. Like you can release EPs, but like I said, you can't really tell like a full story within 4 songs or 6 songs, because it's just something you compile together just to get your music up there.
Yeah, there's always that. I don't know if it's conversation about, is the album dead?
Yeah.
And some people will say yes, some people say no, and I feel like the album actually has never gone away. I think there have been times where it has appeared that it's gone away, but I really don't think it has. I think it's just easy to lose track of who's putting out albums, who's putting out singles, who's putting out EPs, just because with the world becoming smaller and smaller with internet and technology, there's just more music being released. So it's really easy to miss what someone's doing.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, actually, we live in a world full of singles, personally, and yeah, like EPs, because yeah, like you said, everyone can go get a DAW and just like record something and put it out tomorrow on Spotify, while like we plan for a year to go into the studio, like put our hard-working money into this like project that we're trying to better ourselves with, and it's unfortunate, yeah, like a lot of people haven't heard Oakrest yet, but that's hopefully going to change with this record. But
it's going to change with this record. I'm damn sure of it. And hopefully, being on Pop Punk and Pizza, of course, helps you guys as well, because ever since I was introduced to you last year during the height of the pandemic, I thought, hell yeah, like these guys, they know what's up. And there's just nothing better than finding an album and being able to listen to every song front to back.
Yeah.
I mean, what for you guys, what are some of those albums for you that you just don't skip one song?
Chris, why don't you start?
From like what band?
Yeah, what band or what album? And it doesn't have to be pop punk. I mean, what is an album that you literally you sit and you listen to the whole thing and you'll do it several times over and over?
Yeah, I mean, this might be a shock because I'm in a pop punk band, but I love alt rock. So the band that comes to mind would be Breaking Benjamin, and the one album I would love like to hear over and over again would be the album Dear Agony. That was like recorded in 2009, and it's just one of those albums that really really hit an impact with me. And a lot of my drumming abilities came from that drummer who was on that album, so that's something that really stuck. So yeah.
Nice.
Awesome.
What are you, Jacob?
I mean, this is more like a band that from our area, but Big Vibe by Seaway, like front to back, was just like nostalgic for me. It's kind of what I guess we took inspiration off of with some of our new tracks, and it's just a phenomenal like It's just a phenomenal album.
Yeah, I'd say record album of the year for 2020 for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna sorry, I was just gonna say about Seaway. I feel like they deserve a little more recognition. I feel
They
like
do, man. They've like hit so many walls. Like I remember just hearing like they had a chance to open up for Blink-182, and then the Caesar Palace in Windsor was on strike, and then it got rescheduled, and then Travis Barker got blood clots, so the show like just never happened.
oh,
And I'm
man.
like, man, that would have been a huge opportunity for Seaway to at least get some new fans. But thankfully, thankfully they're still around. Honestly, yeah, I grew up with Seaway coming into like the new age or like pop punk in like 2010s, and yeah, they were one of the first ones. They're doing a holiday shaker weekend this Saturday and Sunday.
Nice.
But anyway, back to the question though.
Yeah, sorry. I just
Okay.
had to say that about Seaway.
No, honestly, we love Seaway. We love our Seaboys. But yeah, I'd say my album though. Obviously, the first came to mind was "Enema of the State" by Blink-182, and I feel that is for a lot of people. Either that or "Take Off Your Pants and Jacket." I feel is the debate for a lot of Blink fans because that's where they found their stride. And yeah, it's a great album front to back. Like when we were writing this record, I did a lot of front to back listens just so I could like study it. You know, like where the dynamic changed or how they wrote this and like what parts go where. So yeah, I'd go with "Enema of the State" by Blink.
Dude, great choices. I mean, and for so many different reasons, not just because it's Blink-182, but Jerry Finn, the man behind those records.
Yeah.
I love hearing stories about Jerry Finn being in the studio with Blink-182. I don't remember if this was an interview I was listening to with Mark Hoppus, but he was talking about, I think it was with Mark Hoppus. He was talking about with Jerry Finn, and I think this was for the self-titled record. And I'm sure he did this with every record, but he says they would just drive. Mark said Jerry would drive all of them crazy with all the different things he would try out. Just with the most minute things to like, 50 different microphones and then like 50 different guitar cabs and 50 different guitars and just like all these little things he would just nitpick every single thing, and I love hearing those stories.
Well, I mean, like I think when you're the biggest band in the world, you have to be that picky because I feel like a lot of people. I feel like certain musicians definitely like hear that in the production.
Yeah.
This
Well,
first,
this was coming from Jerry Finn. Like he
Yeah.
was the one being
he's
like
one
this.
of the gods.
Yeah, and he would drive the guys of Blink crazy, and I just think that's awesome. I mean, like I said, you can't beat hearing those stories.
No,
Is this your first time? Now we're talking about producers and engineers. Is this your first time working with Kyle?
Yeah, actually, we made the decision to go with Kyle like probably like April, March of this year.
Yeah.
And then like I said, we've kind of just been counting down the days until now. Finally, like we're here.
So,
And,
so sitting down with Kyle today, what have been some things to make their way into even just day one? What are some things that you've learned from Kyle or that he's added to the demos you kind of picked apart today?
well, honestly, I think he has great insights about like what's kind of going on in our demos, like what to take out and what sounds good in them. Obviously, as a producer should, but honestly, he's just very easy to connect with, like on like a humor level, and just to like be in the same studio. Because you can't have tension in a studio if you're trying to like, you're trying to make art.
Yeah.
You can't have any of that. So I feel like I like that about him.
Yeah, there's always like the inside jokes and things like that. I was trying to think of I can't think of a particular inside joke that I experienced from recording, but there's always one from like each record you record or each EP or single or whoever you work with. There's always some little thing, and it just ends up being a joke the whole time you're with.
Today our little inside joke was just pranked. Like, just if we do something stupid, like we told Chris he got a parking ticket, and then he
It worked.
yeah, it worked. We have video proof, and we'll be releasing
Dude.
we'll be releasing weekly episodes, kind of like an MTV behind the scenes like recording record. So we'll be releasing weekly episodes of that. So if you're listening now, you'll hear this or you'll see this in our first episode of our recording. But yeah, no, he honestly did believe it, and we got halfway down the hallway, and that's when I told him that it wasn't true.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Were you gonna say something?
No, that's it. Like that's just.
Oh, okay.
I think that's a typical thing, though. You know, we're just pranking each other just to keep each other alive and awake here.
Yeah, I think more bands need to do the off the cuff behind the scenes footage in the studio. I don't know if enough do. I feel like there's been a lot of bands they'll put out like documentaries and things like that, but I feel like that doesn't truly that's usually documentaries are like really well produced, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of like a music video is. And I miss the more of behind the scenes that aren't really like thought out, you know, is you're just capturing those impromptu moments, and that's when your audience or your fans are really learning what you're like, you know, because
that's what we wanted to provide, because like we feel like we definitely struggle with content, you know, like I'm sure a lot of artists struggle with that. Like putting out content daily is probably one of the hardest things an artist can do. So with this, you know, we at least thought like we could give our fans, you know, like an inside scoop of what we are like off the stage.
Good thing.
Yeah. But like literally though, with technology that we have though today, like we are constantly recording everything, so we really catch like everything that we're doing for this next month in the studio.
Yeah, definitely. Another thing that's particularly today, December 1st, the Spotify Wrapped has been trending. It's that time of the year, and it's always kind of cool to see. Not necessarily like when bands share like how many streams they have, but I'm always curious to hear of like people's individual Spotify Wraps, like what their top 5 artists were, their top 5 songs were. Did any of you guys look at your Spotify Wrapped, and what were some of the like the top artists on your personal Spotify?
Yeah, I mean, just to go off the top of my head, because I checked it, my phone's in the other room. But my 2 top were for band wise was Lake Pacific and Machine Gun Kelly, because when Machine Gun Kelly released his first debut like pop punk album that, you know, helped him grow a little bit this year, you know, everyone listened to it, so I listened to that front to back, and I don't know, I'm just a huge fan of Lake Pacific, so I wasn't surprised when they were in my rap, to be honest.
I got mine right here. Funny enough, the first artist was us, Oakrest. Honestly, like I can't hide that. Like obviously you write the music that you like to listen to off the charts when it is in your band. So like I don't know, like it would come on, or like sometimes I would just like kind of want to hear how we sound. And I guess I just got a little too into our sound.
Hey, I mean, you have to like what you create, you know, and to be fair, this was probably 8 to 10 years ago now, but when I was in a band and I was trying to make that my career, when I was working at my full-time job at my grandpa's print shop, I would literally spend most of my time at the computer, getting stuff ready to go to press and get printed, you know? Yeah. So I would just sit there. So what I would do is I'd have my sound off on my computer and I would just play my band's songs on repeat just so we could I was trying to get that revenue coming through the door. Obviously, it's like fractions of pennies, but I would do that for days on end just to like think about all the money we're going to get from all these streams, you know? So I will confess I did that.
But like to make it a little better, I mean, like, so number 2 was Seaway, because I listened to Big
Vibe. There you go.
I listen to Big Vibe like more than any human probably should.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Same thing with Neck Deep though too. They're coming in number 3. I don't know. I know I said Big Vibe was album of the year, but Neck Deep kind of like they both like kind of bash heads because they're both amazing records. And then number 4 we got Fountains of Wayne, because that was a band that I rabbit holed into to write this record. I thought
Really?
that Stacey's
Okay.
mom, but turns out I was wrong, and they have so many more bangers.
Well, and they're Brian, right? Was it Brian that passed away? One of their members passed
I
away.
think so, yeah.
I think it was Brian. I don't know why I'm forgetting his name,
Well, I think
but
also too, Stacy's mom from the music video, she passed away like
she passed away too?
a few years ago, I think.
Wow, man. Well,
Yeah.
I know the member of Fountains of Wayne. I'm hoping I have it right that it's Brian, but he passed away from COVID.
Oh,
geez,
wow.
eh?
Yeah, like just during this, he was one of the he was one of the first celebrities to pass away from COVID,
Oh,
or
wow.
it was like earlier on in the pandemic in 2020. So
I didn't know that.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
It was-
number 5 is John Mayer, but yeah, that's
I mean,
Spotify,
you know.
yeah. Somewhere along the lines of Breaking Benjamin, Greatest Grace, all
Probably.
the rock stuff.
yeah, you could probably name them all.
That's
for-
cool.
Yeah.
That all makes the sound that makes Oakrest, right?
Definitely.
Absolutely. So anything else you guys want to update us with, from the studio? I mean, obviously it's the end of 2021, so you're probably looking at sometime in 2022, I would assume, with the record.
I mean, like, we feel it's a very like a fun record and screams fun like the summertime. So I'd say, like, that's I think when we're aiming to release it, but honestly, we don't know yet. Obviously, it all just depends, like when it gets finished.
All you got to do is we're recording, our first full length right now. There's no exact date when it's going to be out. Just look towards the summertime, and you'll probably hear it. So
Yeah. No, honestly, I think we're going full out on this record. Like, we're risking a lot of money on the line. Like, we feel like we're finally doing things properly that we need to, obviously. But yeah, like, I think you kind of have to on a first full length.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's definitely something you don't want to rush through either.
Oh, definitely.
It's like you want to take your time, excuse me, making sure that everything is in play and that you love it,
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure you guys are doing just that. So, thanks for, taking the time to talk with me and also reschedule, by the way. I am so sorry about that.
I'm glad to hear your cat's better.
Thank you. Yeah, we honestly didn't think he was going to make it just because his body temperature dropped so drastically, and we had to take him to one of those emergency animal facilities that's like an hour away from where we live. So it was like, but yeah, it worked out. So thank you for understanding. And then, where can people find Oakrest online, of course, as well?
Mainly like our music, obviously Spotify, Apple Music. We're everywhere too on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
YouTube, yeah.
YouTube, TikTok.
Facebook,
We're everywhere.
Play, I don't
Yeah.
know.
You name it, we're there.
Awesome. All right. And do you anything? Is there anything about before we play "Love for One Day" that you want to say about this song to kind of introduce it?
Honestly, like, get prepared because, yeah. Honestly, I feel like this is our best music. This is a good time to be releasing it too, with COVID and all. And yeah, I hope you enjoy it.
All right. Well, you guys have fun in the studio. All right. I'm really excited for next year, and I can't wait to hear what comes out with Kyle.
No, thank you again for having us on the podcast. I know it's been a time coming, but we're glad we could finally hop on here.
All right. Yeah, me too. You guys have a great rest of the night.
You too.
Thanks.
Yeah, take care.
Take me back to the place where I thought I was in love, but I wasn't. I remember your smile, speaking words full of lust. I can't take it. Take me back to the last where you said you wanted me, but you didn't. Your words had in disguise, words you made me believe. I just can't quit. But when I tried to let go, I know that this was all a show. But my friends, they told me so. Love for one day. There was no love for one day. There was no surprise and no sunrise. Love for one day. Could see it in your eyes, hearing your goodbyes. You know we wanted more than this. It's a feeling that I know I won't miss.
Oakrest, Love for One Day here on Pop Punk and Pizza Podcast. Thank you once again to Jacob, and Chris from Oakrest for joining us from the studio as they're working on their first full-length album. I am super excited for them, and I cannot wait to hear it. So good luck, guys, and thank you once again for being cool with rescheduling me for this week. So Pop Punk and Pizza Podcast is brought to you by Pop Punk Takeout. It's a monthly subscription service that delivers merchandise from pop punk artists from all over the world directly to your door in a takeout box. And of course, for the holiday season, for the first time ever, they've actually teamed up with Unsigned Pop Punk, which is another great outfit in our scene, to put out a compilation CD of some of the best Christmas songs in the pop punk scene. And a lot of these artists have actually been guests on Pop Punk and Pizza, including College Radio. You also have Eugene Levy, Stop, Drop, Rewind, Million Miler, TLB, Settle Your Scores, and so many others. So you can pre-order your copy of this on CD right now at poppunktakeout.com. They're going to start shipping those out December 13th. It's only $10 to pre-order this Christmas compilation. So do yourself a favor, head over to poppunktakeout.com, pre-order that, or go ahead and pre-order one of the regular takeout boxes as well, and also follow them on social media at Pop Punk Takeout. It looks like I was waiting for Mighty Tortuga to show up here for the interview, but for some reason they're not in the virtual room right now. We're supposed to be talking with Mighty Tortuga out of Connecticut here in the United States, but maybe what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll play Virtue by Mighty Tortuga, which actually features The Dangerous Summer. I'll go ahead and play that for you right now, and then hopefully we'll be hearing from one of the members here after the song.
Patience is a virtue, and I never meant to hurt you. So does that make me the blame of everything that's not the same? Patience is a virtue, and I'm staying out past curfew. So we let the hours pass. I'm not sure that I'm coming back, but you're still there with a man who doesn't care. And we're both still learning, but I stopped searching for answers to be clear. Take me far away from here. Your love will be the source, stay the path and run the course. It doesn't matter what he does, I'm twice the man he never was. Think your love will be the source, stay the path and run the course. It doesn't matter what he does, I'm twice the man he never was. And if you think you're getting off without a warning, just remember every morning that I'm the face you can't forget. I'm still around. It makes you sick to your stomach, and if you find that moral compass, swallow it for quick release. Think your love will be the source, stay the path and run the course. It doesn't matter what he does, I'm twice the man he never was. Think your love will be the source, stay the path and run the course. It doesn't matter what he does, I'm twice the man he never was. Does it make me a great man
Mighty Tortuga with Virtue here on Pop Punk and Pizza Podcast, featuring The Dangerous Summer. Great track. The opening lyric of that song, when he talks about patience is a virtue, it channels that inner Catholic, young Catholic boy in me, because I think about all the times I heard that growing up from either my mom or grandmother, or when I'd go to, Catholic Sunday school or whatever, they'd always be like, patience is a virtue. I can't tell you how many times I was told that. I believe we're supposed to be talking with Thomas from Mighty Tortuga, but I'm thinking something must have happened with him, and I just hope everything's okay. I guess we'll have to reschedule with him for another time. But in the meantime, you can check out Virtue by Mighty Tortuga. They just put a music video out for that as well that you can watch. And obviously, they're on Spotify as well. You can hit them up at mightytortuga.com. And also, want to remind you real quick, once again, our merch sale that Pop Punk and Pizza is having right now. Hit up poppunkpizzapod.com when you go to our merch store and select what you want. Today only, or if you're listening to this on Thursday, December 2nd, or even if you're watching the live stream the day before, we're only doing this for Thursday, December 2nd, is the 15% off sale. So you got to use that promo code HOLIDAY15 at checkout in order to get 15% off your entire order at the Pop Punk and Pizza Podcast merch store. So poppunkpizzapod.com. When you get everything you want in your cart, even if it's just one thing, thank you so much for that. Use HOLIDAY15 to get 15% off your order. That is only happening for Thursday, December 2nd, 2021. Thank you so much in advance for your support on that. And hopefully you should be able to get your items before Christmas, I would hope, at this point. But if you don't, I apologize for that. Regardless, I am so thankful for your support. And also support our sponsors, Pop Punk Takeout, as well. Go to poppunktakeout.com or follow them on social at Pop Punk Takeout. And also follow us on social media while you're at it, Pop Punk Pizza Pod on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all of the socials. You can find us at Pop Punk Pizza Pod. Now, next week, joining us on the show for a live stream is going to be my good friend Dave Gomez out of the Chicagoland area. It's been a long time since I've had Dave on the show. He recently had a battle with cancer, so we're going to get an update on him, what he's up to with his new band, Summer Curse, and all that fun stuff. So that'll be the live stream will be on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, the December 8th, 7 p.m. Central Time. That'll be live on our Facebook, our YouTube, and our Twitch account. And then, of course, the podcast version will be up on all podcast platforms the following day on December 9th. So take good care of yourself. Eat lots of cookie dough, or don't, because it might make you sick. Enjoy a slice of pizza here and there. And I look forward to talking with you next week.
Hey, hello, it's nice to meet ya. Hey, come in and have a slice of pizza. Hey, hello, it's nice